Samantha. This is episode 8, I believe, of the Khaos Kismet podcast, my little space on the internet where I talk about all of my crafty things. For the most part, it will be textiles, mostly crocheting, a bit of knitting, some things to do with fabric, cross stitch, sewing, a little bit of quilting sometimes as well. A little bit of everything really. I will try everything. I do enjoy crafting. That being said, today we only have crocheting and knitting. Yes, we only have crocheting and knitting. I have 3 finished objects and 3 whips. It should be a fairly short podcast today, I think, because I don't have an awful lot to talk about apart from those things, so should be good. You have me in my Udi today because I apologise if you can hear that. My dog is tearing up and down the room for no reason at all whatsoever. Lil, calm down. Come here. She's just turned 1. She's very excitable. Are you okay? Okay, so as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh, right. Well, you're not a lap dog. For anybody who's new, this is Lilith. Lilith the Destroyer, mother of demon dogs. And she is a needy little troll. Aren't you? Yes. And she thinks she's the size of a chihuahua. Okay. Right, off you get. Down you get. Would you like a biscuit? There you go. Sit. Good girl. Right. I've got hair on my mouth there. Okay, back to regularly scheduled programming. What was the complaint? Yeah, I have my hoodie on because it's absolutely freezing. The weather here, I'm in the middle of England, and the weather here is just all over the place. It is bright sunshine and really warm, and then you blink and it is rain and it is freezing. So my house doesn't get the sun coming in the windows very much, so it's freezing in here. So apologies, but you have me in my Udi. This is affectionately known as my igloo. It's great though, because look, it's got big pockets, and inside the big pocket it has another pocket, so I've got a pocket inside my pocket. So I've got biscuits down here and the dog's trying to get to them. Right. Ooh. Less waffling, more podcasty, actual nice things that people want to hear about. Finished objects today. So last night I was looking, I have my Two Unicorn book, which is this, and every month I go into the new month and I write down, just as a list. So this is this month's one. So as a list, everything from all my different crafts. I don't have separate craft ones anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. I write down all my whips for everything, so I can keep track of them, and then at the end of the year I'll add them up, how many things I've managed to make that year. So because it's sort of getting towards the end of the month, I thought I would like to have another quick little project. So I got into Ravelry, had a quick scooch through my Ravelry queue, and it's working this time. We have this. So this is the Love Bug Ear Warmer by Megan Maya, and this is, yeah, I've got the right way around. This is my version of it. I just had a scrap ball of, it's Hayfield Aran Tweed, I believe it's called. It was just a scrap ball of that I had. Aran weight, 5mm hook, and oh god, I've got it upside down. Right, so it goes that way. It's called the Love Bug because these little, also as per usual, ignore the nails. These little things look like hearts. So it's a free pattern on Ravelry. Let's see, I will show you the full thing again. Oh no, they're my projects. Oh, Left in Knots, that's who it is. Look, She has a ton of patterns on there. I've totally come off the wrong page now. I've got a new PC and everything's just different to my old one, so I'm still getting used to this one. Also, I'm very tired. Oh my goodness. We've acquired a bike gang in the local area. They're not actually a bike gang as you would imagine a bike gang to be. They're more like obnoxious teenagers on something barely bigger than a scooter. However, they zoom around on these things all night. They make a way more obnoxious, no, don't get me wrong, I love bikes. I used to have lots and lots of biker friends when I lived in Scotland. However, the noise of these just silly little excuses for bikes, it's just ridiculous. But they've decided that they're a bike gang, so now they go around at all hours of the morning and everything's just louder in the middle of the night. So I've been up half the night listening to that, and then they upset the dog because obviously she thinks that something's happening because these idiots are going around on the bike at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm tired. It's probably why I'm also very cold. I get cold when I'm tired. Anyway, I'm waffling, I'm sorry. So we have this. This took me probably about an hour to make up. These are just puff stitches. This middle section is like a V-stitch, double crochet V-stitch, and then it's got these little, in the third loop, half double crochet in the third loops. So it's a very, very quick and easy pattern to make up. It comes in 2 sizes, adult and child. This is adult size. Recommend. Very nice. And I said, did I say it was a 5mm hook that I used for that? I just did it as pattern. Just followed it, and it didn't take very long at all. So that's another thing to add on my to do unicorn list for this month. My other finished objects. This one you would have seen on Instagram. This is my corner to corner. This is just using 4 balls of some random yarn that I got from my Good Vibes yarn haul, and it's absolutely not a colour, I think I spoke about this last week, it's not a colour I would normally buy at all, but I really quite like it. It reminds me of mint chocolate chip, and I've just done a very, very simple brown border, just a double crochet border on it. I don't always border my corner to corners because I don't think it really particularly needs it, but I thought I'll pop a little border on this one just to pull the colours together a little, and I really like it. It's nice. It's just basic corner to corner. Just put corner to corner into Google or Ravelry or anywhere, and YouTube. There are millions of free tutorials for it. It's a very, very satisfying stitch for me. I enjoy it because I know if I only have, like, if I have 4 balls of this, I know I can use 2 to do the increase and then 2 to do the decrease. So I'm going to switch my autofocus off because it's going in and out every time I move. Right, let's see if that's better. Yeah, so that's that. I did discover though while I was doing this, because originally I have I had 9 balls of this, and I had originally planned on using all 9 balls. But after 2 balls, I decided the pack, it's a DK weight. I'm telling you nothing about this. It's a DK weight. It's a random colourway. I don't know what it is. It's from Good Vibes yarn on their mystery bags, and the labels don't always match up to the yarn that they're covering. So DK weight, I think I used a 4mm hook for it, and I got to 2 balls in and I thought, I don't want to do a massive project at the moment, and I love doing corner to corner. That's like my go-to stitch, and I was getting bored and I wasn't enjoying it, so I just decided to make it a lap blanket instead. And that's the thing that I enjoy about corner to corner, is you can see how big something is and then just decide that you've had enough, and then just square it off or rectangle it off from there. Or if you're feeling really like you don't want to carry on, you can turn it into like a mini shawl, because you make the triangle and then you close the triangle. So if you make the triangle, you've got a giant triangle shawl. If you really don't enjoy what you're doing. But we have a blanket. Right, let's pop that up there. The last thing, I made a little video about this one. This is more yarn that I got from the Good Vibes yarn haul. You get, so I've just dropped something. Oh dear. There were scissors on the floor. I can't have scissors on the floor because my dog will stand on them or eat them or something. With the Good Vibes yarn, the mystery bags, you get 900 grams for £12, which is a bargain no matter how you look at it. And you can choose to either have a mixed bag or a bag that's all the same. So I got a bag that's all the same. I got a mixed bag as well, but I got a bag that's all the same, and this is what I got in it. 300 gram balls of this, which I thought was super chunky. But again, this is not a colour I would normally buy at all. Like, green is not my colour palette at all, usually any kind of green. But I actually quite like it. The ball bands that came on this had been like turned around and taped back up and written on them. So I think what's on the ball bands for this is correct. And if it is, then this is a wool and merino blend, an acrylic and merino blend, which it does feel like it's merino. So I decided I've got 900 grams of what I believe to be super chunky. I don't work with thick yarns usually. I'm usually more like 4-ply DK, maybe an Aran. I never really go above an Aran. So to me, I thought it looks a bit big to be chunky, so it must be super chunky. That was my thought process. And I have this book, Knits from Northern Lands, and I haven't made anything out of this book yet. And it has this scarf in it. Oh wait, where are we going? That way. It has this scarf in it, which, there you go. There's another picture of it there. I am not bothered about showing the pattern because it is literally just a 2x2 rib. Now this says you cast on 30 stitches. So I cast on 30 stitches and it was about this wide, which wouldn't fit on my needles, and that did not make me happy. Also, I did not want a scarf that was this wide. So I thought it must be a bit thicker than super chunky. So we ended up scrapping the book, so I need to find something else out of this to make some really nice patterns in here though. Let's see the ones on the front. I really like these gloves. There's the ones on the back. I really like this jumper as well, but it's knit and chunky and I think I would just die. Let's see if I've got should have a picture of all of the patterns. No, because that would be useful. No. If you want me to do a review on this, I can do. But I want to make some more stuff out of this. I ended up just sacking the book because obviously it's no good because this is clearly not super chunky. I also wanted it done on 10mm needles, and the 10mm needles were making it a very dense material, which did not lend itself well to, because I don't know if you could see it, but this is actually a 4-ply It's like quite a loose ply on it. Like when I went to sew my ends in, I had just split it, and the 4 threads just came apart very, very easily. And I basically just followed the pattern for it, but yeah, it's huge and it's heavy. I ended up using 20mm needles, and I only cast on 18 stitches. But this, this is my oh so practical super chunky scarf. It's really warm, it's really squidge, and I do actually quite like it. It's not the most practical for wearing, but it is nice. That's it, that's all my, oh god, my foot. Oh dear. That's all my finished objects. So whips are going to be super quick because I only have 3. 2 of them are socks. First one is in my little, ooh, I made this bag ages ago, and this is my walking around outside knitting to embarrass my family bag. So I'd ordered some needles. If you watched last week, I'd started making myself some socks, and I started using magic loop rather than DPNs because I had been ill and I had kept dropping my DPNs, so I switched to magic loop. Turns out that magic loop is just the thing I'm enjoying right now. So I ordered, oh, what are they called? Addy turbos, and that's what I'm knitting the pink socks on that I showed last week, which, oh, they're a nightmare. I've not brought them down to show you because what I ended up doing was I'm knitting them toe up, so I'd knit the toe and then I'd knit maybe about this much, but around about here I noticed there was like I don't know, the stitch must have got twisted somehow, and so there was a hole in it. There wasn't a drop stitch, there was just like a random hole, and it wasn't at the bit where the needles are, it was sort of there. So I have no idea what happened to it, and I have no idea how it took me so long to notice, unless I've maybe just caught it on something. So I ended up ripping it all back to more or less the toe and starting again. So I've not brought them down because they actually have less progress on them than the last time you saw them. So they are now my embed knitting. But the needles, the Addy turbos, I wasn't having the best time with. This bit here on the join, it kept catching. You know, when you sort of shove it off the cord, boards are hard, the cord onto the needle, it was catching just ever so slightly. I don't know if that's an Addy turbo thing in general or if I just got unlucky with a pair. So I thought I'll try different ones as well because why not? So I got these ones, and I saw somebody, I've been watching podcasts and I saw somebody saying that they use Knit Pro Turbo, no, what they called? Knit Pro Novas. Oh, I was watching the Crafty, no, the Cozy Cottage, Hannah at the Cozy Cottage Crochet. So she was using some Novas. I thought I'll give them a try because I like my wooden Knit Pro ones. So I'll give these a go. And these have been really good. I got them off Amazon. And if I can remember, I will drop the name of the shop that I got them from below because it was through Amazon, but it was a small business. And when the needles come, they were in, it was nothing to do with the way they had packaged them or anything like that. The packaging was all completely fine. But you know, sometimes you get them and they're like a little bit rough on the end. Have you ever had that with metal needles where they're just slightly rough and you can't see anything on the needle? It looks fine, but when you touch it, it just feels a bit rough, and then when you try and knit with it, it sort of grates. And I was like, oh, I can't deal with that. So I messaged them on Amazon and they got back to me really quickly and said, no worries at all, we will send you out a new pair, and apologise. I mean, it wasn't their fault at all, it was a manufacturing issue. So these ones come yesterday. I know some people like to do magic loops with the big long cords. I do not. These are 60cm ones because I don't like to have a massive cord. My dog is just wrecking the place at the minute. She's playing with her toys and she keeps knocking stuff over. It's nothing dangerous. But if you can hear her in the background, that's what the noise is. She's playing. Anyway, so I've got these new needles and I thought, right, I have to cast them on straight away just to try them, see what they're like. And I've got this, and I've never tried this before. Oh, no, wait. This is, can you see that? Truly Wool Rich 4-ply. It's King Cole, I do know, Signet. It's got a swan on it. It's Signet. Right. Brain is not engaging today apparently. So this is the colour. You can see all the different things. And this I just had from like my last Wool Warehouse order, where you know you need to make up the postage, and they had this on offer or on sale or something, so I thought, well, I've never tried it. It's pinks and purples, I'll give it a go. And in the ball it feels quite soft. When you're knitting with it, it's still quite soft. It's not like really rough or anything, but you can definitely tell it's wool rather than merino, which I think is good for socks, because the merino ones are nice, but I don't find them as warm, and I find they tend to wear through a lot faster as well. So this is how it's knitting up. It's really nice. Like, I wasn't expecting it to knit up like that. So I've done that since yesterday, pretty much. I've done most of it during, I have therapy over the phone. And I'd done most of this while I was in therapy. So I thought that was not too bad. Yeah, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these yet. I decided to do these ones top down because I always do toe-up socks. I'm sorry, she is so loud. Wait a minute. She found a crisp packet in the bin. That's what she was being very, very noisy with. Dog has got no boundaries at all. If it fits in her mouth, she will eat it. If it may have been near food at some point in its history, she will eat it. Yeah. So I've taken it off and she's gone back to playing now. Anyway, so these, I'm kind of tempted just to make a long tube and then cut them into socks afterwards, but we'll need to see. At the minute I'm enjoying the way that the pattern works up, because it's very thin stripes. It's very easy to, just one more stripe, so we'll see, because I think each one's only 2 rows for each stripe, so we shall see how I get on with that. Oh, the next pair of socks, let's see, next pair of socks are these. Now these ones I'm also doing magic loop, fixing some stitches don't fall off. That is what I have so far. I did have an entire sock and the stitch marker on these as well. Ooh, it's a little skull. I got that from RowRow and Kades. She's a knitwear designer, but like she's got loads of patterns on Ravelry, and she's got a podcast as well. But she's also got an Etsy shop where she sells her patterns, but she also sells stitch markers. So I got this one. It's very cute. this is DK weight yarn. I didn't bring, give me a second, I will go and get. Okay, so this, it's DK weight yarn, and it's, can you see that? Can you see the movement? I literally had never heard of this, and I bought it because it has a movement on it. I had originally, I'm trying to click on the wrong thing here. So you can see there, I had made an entire sock, and I'd made it for my boyfriend. And if you saw my last episode, you will see the other socks that I made for him, and you will see that he has giant feet, and this is not a giant sock. So all I should have done really was rip back the toe, and I did a little bit of length here. I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing my mouse, but I just had to add a little bit of length in the foot. However, it was also quite short in the leg, and he wears boots. He's not really a trainer sort of guy. He wears boots all the time. He wears boots at work. He wears boots when he's just out and about. He's not a trainer's guy really. So I thought I'd just rip back the entire thing because it's DK, it knits up a lot faster. So I decided to get another 2 balls of this, because, can you see that? Is it working? Is it going to focus on the movement? The artwork on these ball bands though is lovely. Moomin and Novita. Where are Moomins from now? Are they Danish or Swedish, or I think they're Scandinavian, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anybody Scandinavian. Oh, Finnish. Helsinki, Finland. It says that on the back. And this stuff is really, really soft. It is, it's 40% polyamide and 60% wool. So obviously it's got less wool content than normal, but it makes it really soft. And it's nice. It's really nice to knit with. The stitch definition on it is pretty good, if it will focus. Yep. And I've just literally followed the pattern. I don't even know how many stitches I've got cast on. I followed the pattern for the medium size, because he has big feet, but they're not chunky, they're long, kind of big. So I did the medium size for the width, and I'm gonna have to just knit forever until I get them long enough for his giant man feet. And then he has 2 pairs of socks, and I'm going to teach him to knit. I said to him about learning to knit, and he's like, nah, there's no point, all I'd ever do is knit socks and hats. I'm like, yeah. So just knit socks and hats. It saves me from knitting all your socks and hats. So I might get him knitting yet. We shall see. So that's my 2 sock widths. It feels like I should have more than this, but I don't. The last width that I've got, that I've been working on this week, is, let's get this up on here. It's this from Divine Debris, and this, I'll show you the full screen. You can either get this as free on the website, or you can buy it for $4. Now, this is, ooh, got him in a tangle. This is a wall hanging. This is an excellent way to use up scraps. So I'm using my 4mm Omni hook, my ebony one. I'm going to show you this side. I'm going to show you my back as well. Right, I really enjoy doing crochet colour work. So this is what we have so far. It's a little bit curly because it's all done in single crochet. Now the ghosts you will see on this one have eyes. You will see that my ghosts are eyeless. I did attempt initially to put the eyes and the smiles and stuff in, and then I decided I didn't quite like how mine was turning out. I don't know if it was a tension issue, but mine just looked a little bit messy. So I decided to leave the faces off, and I'll go back afterwards and I'll either embroider them on, or I'll put maybe some safety eyes on, maybe some felt eyes, I'm not sure yet, but I'll put eyes on after the fact. So this is just lots of scraps that I had in Aran weight. This one is Deramor's anti-pilling, which, I mean, Deramor's have closed down and they've been bought out, haven't they? I think they got bought out by Lovecrafts, so I don't know if they'll still be producing yarn at all, or if Lovecrafts was just selling what they had left. But this is the leftovers from my 11-year-old's Minecraft blanket that I made, and I think most of the rest of it is either Paint Box Aran or Stylecraft Special Aran. I think the red is Paint Box, the white is Stylecraft, the cream is Stylecraft, the cream is Stylecraft, the grey I can't remember, the yellow is Paint Box, because that's what's left of Pikachu. So yeah, there we go. Now, would you like to see the back? There we go. As long as you can keep your floats loose, you can carry your floats. I plan on backing this. I haven't decided if I'm going to back it with felt or with fabric yet. It depends on the hanger of choice, I think. Because she has it on a stick. I don't think she backs hers at all, but she has hers on a stick with the fringe at the bottom. So I might do something, oh, itchy nose. I might do something similar to that, or I might not. I might just back it with some fabric and do some little fabric tabs. Haven't decided yet, I will see. But I really like how it's turning out. She's got loads and loads and loads of wall hangings, and what I've decided that I'm doing is I'll put them in this little, my Hello Kitty basket. I made this ages ago and I didn't have any the firm interface in. I only had me Jim, and I thought I'll put that in, it'll be fine. It's clearly not fine, but it's good for just setting things in like this, and it lets my yarn roll around. Oh dear. So I think that's everything as far as like whips and finishes go. So my current plans are to work on the things that I've got, but I'm going to start working my way through my Ravelry list. I think I mentioned this before. I'm going to do a kind of Stitcher library type of effort, but my library on Ravelry is huge, and I haven't done most of the patterns that I have. I've bought loads of patterns on there, so I'm going to do a mix of that, and on Ribbler as well. I realised the other day I've got loads and loads of patterns on there that I've never made, and I've got some really nice patterns, so I'm going to start working my way through them. I would also like, after I'm finished doing this while it's uploading, I'm I'm going to make some things out of this, because at the minute I'm just in the mood for small quick projects, like quick, easy. And this has got just lots of small, easy, like these little earphone pouches, wall hangings. And because these are scraps, you can literally just do whatever. What was that? This is another one of the books that I've got and never done anything. Ornament, geometric ornament. They're quite nice. I could start making those as Christmas hangers. So I'm not sure. Placemats. I might make the placemats actually, because my children eat like pigs. So placemats might not be a bad idea. A plant hanger. So I thought I would do this. This is nice. I don't have my cat anymore. When I moved out, I left. It was my cat, but she's very, very much attached to my ex. So, and she's an old cat as well. And I didn't want to cause her the trauma of having to move. So I've left the cat with him. Little chicken. Because she's quite old now. She's 17 maybe. Mats. Yeah, so I'm going to have a little look through this. And it comes with all the templates and things at the back. Might do a couple of things out of that and see how it goes. Oh, and I think that might be it. Don't think there's any life stuff to report on. The kids are off next week. We have Monday is a bank holiday in the UK, the May Day holiday. How long is it going to be May already? The year is just flying by. And then on Thursday the kids are off school because of elections. I don't know what they do in other countries, but in the UK, when there's elections, they close down some of the schools and use the schools as polling stations. So my kids' school is one of the ones that's being used as a polling station, so they get the day off. They're being given homework for the day off because the coronation's on Friday, I think. I'm pretty sure the coronation's on Friday. The homework has to be in for Friday anyway. When they're off on Thursday, they have to spend the day drawing a picture of our king. They have to draw a picture of King Charles. I'm a little concerned at what is going to be produced. Oh dear. It'll be fun. They enjoy it. They both enjoy drawing. Not so big on the colouring. It's ever so strange because my oldest was the same. He's like 23 now, but when he was little he used to do a lot of drawing, but he would never ever colour anything in. And like my two younger ones are the same now. They like doing the drawing and the designing of things, but they're not that big on the colouring in of them. They colour in like colouring books and things like that, but the things that they draw they don't, for some reason, but they're going to have to for this. Yeah, so that's, I mean, the coronation is just whatever. I think every other country in the world is more excited about it than I am, or anybody that I know is. I know some people are very excited about the coronation. I am not one of those people, I'm afraid. I'm not a royalist. I love history. I studied history and I like the old monarchy, and I think that's all very interesting. I think the monarchy now is just kind of pointless. I know they do a lot of charity work and they do a lot of good things, but honestly, especially in the last few years, it's just become one drama after another. It's like watching a reality TV show, watching the Royal Family over the last few years. But anyway, that's it. Enough of that. I'm sure I've probably upset some people with that, but opinions are opinions. I'm allowed to have one too. Yes. I think that might be everything. I'm going to stop waffling now. I've still made it to 40 minutes. I thought this was going to be a much shorter podcast than it is. Next week we'll see what I get up to. See how many things I can get made out of that sewing book. I need to find something else to make out of the Northern Knits book, because it's a nice book. I'd like to make something out of there. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Hopefully when it's a bit warmer and I can not have to wear this all the time. So yeah, get my hands out. I shall speak to you next week. In the meantime, have fun, enjoy, take 5 minutes for yourself. Your mental health is important. See you next week. Bye.